the child who is the center focus of everything we are doing in the school. It's just about the child who is the center focus. Now the child is not alone. The child leaves this place. The child becomes from home. The parents are involved with the child. Are we together? This is the home. They are involved in the life of the child. And the child is giving back to the parents whatever is given to him. The child moves from the parents to the school. And the child. We move to the local. The child must have an impact in the local. The environment. Is the child a bully and hooligan, a tramp? I remember when we were growing up. How many of, I don't know, maybe my own set. We always have, I grew up in the Surulere area. The day of your results. She will just sit down at the gate and you will drop your card as you are coming. If your first position and overall, your overall 95%, somebody now score first position and scored 96. And that is the work of the locals, and that's why we were able to have that respect. Related. They are only related because they live in the same environment and they start being each other or guiding one another. These days, your child must not greet your neighbor, your child must not even stop to the neighbor. Your child must not do this. So we have killed this. And that is what gospel evaluation is trying to bring back to our society. Then we move to the national. If I'm irrelevant here, can I be relevant here? Ideally, when they are politicians, when they want to contest for any election, you see them they go back to their roots. Somebody who has never lived okay, thank you. In all his years, you will see it's going to be the concept that brings about all that the child must learn in the school. The effects of you and I on that evaluation is talking about. What do you have for us? On your table then, a paper has been passed around. Supposed to have 3 together. That's why I don't expect you to share it. You must choose a captain. Because it's like a little bit of test. Now, for every that you have in your front there, I want to understand how the child is doing as regards certain aspects. All you need to give to me is the book I need to check or how I need to get my answer. Sorry, let me quickly use this one. It says, how well do the curriculum and other activities meet the range of the needs and interests of learners and the extent to which the school provides a broad range of curriculum opportunities. Now, the thing is this: if you come in for old school evaluation, we work our work based on evidence, what we can see. So I want to concerning any of these ones in your front. Anybody will have evaluates. It's not clear. Okay. Now we want to see, when you see evaluate, I want you to put for me where what you need to evaluate to get to know if the child is doing well in that aspect or our books. Or you don't understand my question. Alright, let me make myself clear. In every evaluation, we need to go through a book, a record, to show if you are getting it done the way it should be done. What am I evaluating when I come to your school? Depends on what records you are presenting to me. So if you are where you have achievements and standards, do you have it there? Evaluators need to link quality standards and standards for primary, junior secondary, and senior secondary in the subject being evaluated. What will you check of the records?
Lesson plan.
I'm afraid of my coach. Is it fine? Alright. Okay. So somebody has been trying to answer my question. What do we check?
Yes, I said to evaluate.
So my name your paper. Somebody is sleeping already. Don't give expo. Don't give expo. You are giving expo. They have your own table. Write the answer. This table write the answer. The second one are the students are the standard reached by learners. And the students are the standard reached by learners high enough. What are the books you will check? Hello? Don't worry, I'll come back to it. It's a book, I've said it. 2 on each table. So you have it on your table. We have treated. We have treated records, I mean. And we said records are for planning. Are we together? Records are for planning. We have 2 on each table. So are the standard reached by learners high enough? How do you determine if the standard they reach is high enough? What do you check? There should be one missing there. We need to do it quickly because we're so round. How well do learners make progress? Which book are you going to check? What are the books you will check to know the progress of the learners? Just write it in that paper. Write it there in the paper. Don't worry. I am moving to the next one. How good are the overall personal skills and participation of learners, including the extent of learners' spiritual, moral, the extent of the learners' more spiritual, moral, social, and cultural development? How well the extent to which learners adopt healthy lifestyles? How well learners enjoy their education? The attendance of learners at school, the behaviors of learners. Stop writing. Who saw the good morning? You are scoring, you are moving to pass. Just move. Hello. Hi. Just close your books. I'm not saying bring your books now. Close your books. Don't write everything down, Baba. You are only wasting time. Close your books. Thank you. Close your books. Turn it the other way. Close your books. What you have done is an exercise of what you know little or nothing about. But it's something that is essential for you as a teacher to the old school evaluation is the child. And so when you come for old school evaluation, we have three main broad areas. Three broad areas when we talk about old school evaluation. The first broad area is the outcome for learners. Outcomes for learners. Outcomes for learners. Outcomes for learners. When we talk about the outcome for learners, we are looking at what did the child get out of the school. Is coming with a blank check, a blank heart. A child who knows nothing is coming in to come and be filled. And what you feed into the child, that child is going to show the achievements and the standards of the child vis-a-vis the achievements and standards of the school. A child that is coming into your school blank and you feed in garbage with the hope that when the exam comes, we will assist them. That child has not achieved anything, and the standards cannot be well evaluated. And if a child's standards cannot be well evaluated to meet up with his colleagues outside your school, then you have ruined the life of that child. When a child comes into the school, that's the part B of the outcome for learners. The skills the child must take out of your school beyond academics. They are very, very important. So when the evaluators are coming, they are coming with the mindset of seeing your achievements and that. They are coming with the mind of seeing the learner's personal skills and their participation. For example, when our first teacher was teaching us, he said there must be roster for teachers. Equally, there must be students roster. In the assembly in the morning, who and who takes the assembly? I learned this place, they said you should stop morning assembly. I don't know how far it is. That they should not be praying. I was surprised when I got to the school and the school was saying our guidance counselor should lead us in prayer. Now, the skills the child learns out of the school is also very important. Some of our children, they don't know how to put 1 and 2 together to make it 3, to make it 4, to make it 5. 1 and 2 is equal to 1 and 2. They can't even add it. We are talking about what are the learners' personal skills that they have gained out of the school, and how much are they participating in the school's activities. That was what they said, we must have very close. Giving an overview, we go into the details. For you to be able to understand the participation of learners and their skills, you must see that a child can draw very well. But when you ask the child to come and do something in the class, they will look at you and say, you are learning something today. So why not help the child to build on that skill? These days, there's no BJ SAS, they call the man. It's over ₦1 million, please. So if I have to attend your for 5 days, for 1 hour, how many million am I getting? And yet a medical doctor is fighting, then they should increase our pay. So your skills, the skills you build with that child can go a long way to make a difference from all the academics. So what are the things we need to check when we are looking at the provision of what the outcomes are in it for the learners? How far have they gained from these skills? Those are the things we are coming in to check when they are here. The second aspect is the quality of the provision. And we dwell more on teaching and learning. In fact, when they come for all school evaluation, 70% of what they do in all school evaluation is in teaching and learning. The introduction of your subject, even your entry into the class, your introduction to the subject, and the system of imparting the knowledge in the learner. Very, very important. The step-by-steps that we take. Some teachers, they are with the alpha and omega. In fact, they come into the class mindful, they say that your teacher, your student doesn't know anything. That you know more. But it's about the story. You see them telling you the stories that you have never heard. Why? Because they are also prepare themselves for that lesson. And for you to understand the teaching and the quality of the teaching and learning, you have to look at so many aspects of the teaching. Your delivery, your usage of instructional materials. We search on everything. There are some teachers that say, it's a body to be having instructional materials. Somebody said, there is no instructional materials for my topic, and I laughed. Is there any topic that you can't get as instructional materials? No. What you need to think is about thinking through what you need to do. So when you look at your notes of lesson, your notes of lesson should have determined what and what you should have for the students before you enter the class at all. Before the entrance into the class, you have prepared yourself that by the time my students are asking these questions, these are the things I'm likely to show them. Sometimes you don't show the instructional materials immediately. So you will just come and paste it on the board. No. You don't show it until it is necessary. If you show it when it's not necessary, then you are wasting your time. But for every topic, there must be instructional materials. Activities in the school. When they come, what do you have as a curriculum and other activities? Outside this country, all the students must aspects. Some have aspects, they say, so even some schools will say, what is it called this period now? This we do after school hours. Clubs and society. They say it's a waste of time. It is not. It is not a waste of time. In fact, if you don't have clubs and society, you must be questioned. How do you tell your children how to discipline themselves outside the class? It is through clubs and societies. So apart from the curriculum that is set by the state, you ought to also have the clubs and society and other activities. And these other activities include sporting activities. All students must participate. Outside this country, there at least that's a known of that in United Kingdom, if you don't have a sport, then your parents have not started their work at all. They must take you out for a sport every weekend. And your child, if your child is going for sport at the weekend, you must follow. Either the father or the mother must follow. You will follow them through. And that is why you see most of them, they live like a king. And queen. Wow. Because from foundation, they have been brought up to have other activities. So it's not about just curriculum, but other activities in the school. When I say coach, the child will be in school, and by the time they finish their first period, no time, create time for them. Most of the time, we ask them to come for after school lesson. We ask them to come for for holiday coaching. I always tell schools, you are only wasting the time of these children with their holiday coaching. What's supposed to teach them in school? If you don't teach them in school, I say, because you cannot finish the syllabus. What stops you from finishing the syllabus? It's because you don't have a good plan. If you have a good plan, you will finish the syllabus. But because we want to put it on somebody else and blame somebody else, we refuse to finish up what we're supposed to do. So what I'm saying is, you must have other activities for the children. And how do you know that they have these other activities? It's in your clubs and society sphere. From the clubs and society sphere, you can easily determine what the school is doing and how the learners are doing by winning trophy. You may go for school debates, quiz, and not win any trophy. And then when they say sports, relay boys, first position. Relay girls, first position. Individual sprint, first position. You'll be happy. Because you come back with trophies. Even when you're not having it in academics, you're having it on other activities. So, the child must be trained in other activities. We also want to look at the quality of the care, guidance, and safety. We are going to delve more on this tomorrow. You want to look at the quality of care, guidance, and safety. How are you caring for the students? Most of us, we only come for data or data. You have failed as a teacher if that is your focus of teaching, because you have not reformed that child at all. So what is the quality of care that we give to children? Do we have a sick bay? Yes, and we have sick bay now. Where are the records? We did not write anything down. Normally have seizure. How would you know that this child always have is epileptic? How would you know that this child is having low blood pressure or high blood pressure? You know there are some children that they have low blood pressure. All they need is a bottle of Coca-Cola. I'm not teaching you, I'm only telling you what I know. So you need to ask yourself, what about the guidance? How are you guiding them into achieving how great they are going to become? My sister said, some children, they don't understand, they are not good in academics, and their parents will want them to read. How do you care for them in guiding them? Talk to the counselor. This child, if he draws, it is perfect. But when it comes to English and maths, the child comes back with what can we do to help this child? That is where you guide them. That's where guidance comes from. You guide them to achieving. So you must have a guardian and counselor's record concerning any activity he has carried out concerning the child, and it must be put in the file of the child. And that is why I said your paperwork is still very, very essential. Even your computer. The guidance counselor must be there to tell the truth about the child and know all the children. And if you have your record, you can stand and say, yes, your child is not good in this area. Let the parents withdraw their children. Your conscience will be clear. And that's why I said, proprietors should leave the school for who can run it and run the child in the school. Now we also talk about the safety of the children. I was coming in and Mr. Mark was telling me to watch my head, and that place the beam is there. In fact, not only should you watch yourself for the beam, there are some other things you need to talk to the children about. You are not supposed to run. The child will be slippery. Remove that water. We'll talk about all these things when we talk about child safety tomorrow, about it tomorrow. We also need to look at the quality of the learning environment. So what is the school providing in the learning environment? You are teaching agric science. You don't have a farm. And some of us, those of us that grew up in Lagos, I know that when you get to the top of the tree, you get young there. I mean, I was asked to plant tomato in my house. and the person thought he has seen somebody to teach, or he has seen somebody that can plant. I just help him to keep this beside, because this is not my field. He came and said, this is the way to do it. I did it. Instead of him to tell me that I need to be trimming, he just left it there. I left it there. The day he came here, the tomatoes are not fruitful. I said, when you get it, it's where they are. So you need to give a quality learning environment to the child. That child must have an environment that is conducive. Not where there's going to be bullying. Not where they cannot come and meet my teacher and say, please, this is what has happened. Many of us, they can't come to us and tell them their problems. The moment they come, tomorrow, you know why he has come to me? He came to me because you have exposed the child's secret. She moves from here to here, and the next thing you hear is the principal coming and saying, Biodru, come to my office. And the child will never confide in anyone who is called a teacher again. You have killed that trust between you and the child. So your learning environment is very, very important. It must be a place where the child can be free. It must be a place where the child can build confidence that the body can cover the shut up, tell that person to shut up. You know, there are some students that because of the environment at home, where they cannot come out to be themselves, they want to come and show off in the school. And because you, the school, will not tell them, you find out that they are not getting the required results that they need to get. Some friends come back to say thank you to you teachers. Why? Because of your impact in their life. But that should be the provision by the school authority. For example, when I enter this place, I can see that this place is so dark. This time, it must be well lit. Everywhere you are going to be finding your students must be a place that they can easily be seen. It's a place they must have that they have assurance that they are safe. The third aspect is the effectiveness of the leadership and management. And this also comes into your keeping of records. If you shout without taking action, you are too less good. They will laugh at you tomorrow. For example, the rule of the school says if you are going out of the school, you must sign the movement register. And the teacher chooses to go because he's a friend of the vice principal. And during this period, he could not be found. And the vice principal said, actually, I'm the one that said, you are supposed to issue that vice principal inquiry. Why? Because if you are sending him on errand, he's supposed to also feel the movement book. So if you are not effective in disciplining your friends, even your enemies are not disciplined. The Bible says, slap your sibling, your step siblings will run away from you. Am I right? Yes. If your step siblings does something wrong and you say, to battle shame and pride is here, and not a threat, you do it, there will be discipline. Without discipline, you can never be effective as a leader. It does not matter who you want to hurt. It does not matter who feels hurt. What matters is what the book is saying concerning teaching, concerning your leadership in the school. You must lead by example. Don't do what you don't want them to do. And so we want to observe it. When we come to your school, as a leader, are you ruling off the time at the time when you're supposed to rule it off? Or you are waiting for, what's it? You are waiting for Elizabeth to come. And Elizabeth is a very good girl, very calm. I don't like her coming as a late comer. But you want to ask the other person to help to sign for her. You have become a failed leader. Or after signing, you are going, they gone home, they did not sign that they are going home. You did. Why should you be in my school overnight? For you not signing out, this is step in the school. I mean now, you resume in the morning, you are the first suspect. Do you know now the implication of record keeping? You're supposed to sign out as you are going out of the school. And if it's not done, there must be rules, regulations, and punishment for disobeying the rules and regulations. And then we have the judgments and the grades, and the judgments and the grades, and then the description of who you are. When we come to the scriptures, the best is usually 1, and the worst is 5. It's the other way around. The best is 5, and the best is 1, the worst is 5. So, we'll now come to this is switched off. So we now want to go to what we call old school evaluation so that the school will be prepared for what to say. The first rule is you must have what you want to work with as the working tools as a school. As a school, you must have your working tools. Now you start from the log book of the school. Evaluators will want to see how you log in issues in the school. How you log in issues in the school. And so we created it into 7, all these things I've talked about, and we put into 7 thematic areas. And they expect the school to carry out this evaluation themselves in and out for you to know your starting point. Which book do we need to check? Can anybody tell me your starting point? There is something that we say we should do. Can anybody remind me? You are not the principal, but one day you can become a principal. Accept your starting point to help you to move on. What do we call that book? No? Your starting point as a school. As a school. We talked about something that
SDP.
Huh?
SDP. SD blog book.
No? Somebody said development plan. Now, every school must have a development plan that is going to guide them where they were, where they are, and where they want to go to. Where you are, how do I improve on where I am today? Is the role of the school in conjunction with the teachers. And that's a mistake most schools make planning their works. Development plan does not just be a paper. It should be a working paper between the staff and the authority of the school. So we want to look at the 7 thematic areas of all school evaluation. For us to have sufficient evidence, we need to have what we call DOD. DOD. We need to have discussion with every party that is involved in what we are going to do. So each day out, when you see evaluators will come, they will see them talking to the learners. Even the parents that will come and they need to tell them, the child is the first student, am I right? It's the first child. If it's not doing well at home, and you you see some parents kí ni àwọn tíṣà yín máa ń kọ́ yín báyìí? I always ask them, kí ni àwọn parents yín máa ń kọ́ yín báyìí? Because as a school, you must not leave your child, your students only to the school. There must be a follow-up. So when you have your dog, I said to you, sorry, the first distance for documentation, everything you are doing must have a document to add it to. Then you have what we call observation. You need to observe. It's not everything they will tell you. Usually, I can see some people sleeping already because maybe the breakfast they served them was not enough or was too much. Either of the two. So you need to observe as a teacher. You need to observe. And you also need to discuss with the learners. So what are the things? Documentation, observation, discussion. I make it DOT. For us to be able to judge either the school is good for us to be able to look at, before we can say, okay, this child is doing well and achievement and standard of the school is good or very poor, we need to check the performance of learners across all subjects. And where do we find that one? Where do we find that one? In the broadsheet. And that is why your broadsheet must not be motivated in any form. Thank God for computer. See, computer has made everybody to be lazy. If you know how to use Excel, just input the score and then it's in about time, you look for calculator. And when you are pressing calculator, you are pressing the mistake. But these days, just press all their scores on the broadsheet. And the brushing will spread it out for you. That's why they call it spreadsheet. So you get your answer easily. I don't expect any teacher of this age to be recording and then debating. It's not showing that you have a good record of achievements and standards. Your achievement will be very, very poor if you motivate all the records. So for achievement and standard, you are supposed to keep your broadsheet available. That will determine and tell us the achievement of the school concerning internal examination. Are you doing very well? Are you matching up with the standard of the state and the country as a whole? So if you formulate your own curriculum or your own scheme, your students must be able to compete, not within the school, not be local champion. They must be able to compete outside the school. In relation to the national means of performance, have you seen them? Have you seen their examination in public exams in Lagos State to be able to standardize them? You only have your students writing international exam. You felt at home and you are collecting pass marks from outside. Who wants to see it? If your home is not settled, then you have not settled anything. So the child performance, their test result in internal and external examination must be well kept and must be well summarized. For you to know how many students are doing well in this subject, that can even help you to go and find out, is this teacher doing well when he's teaching them? Some teachers, they will just enter the class. Do you understand? Yes. Any question? No. Okay, have a nice day. But you teach not again. Your students must be able to ask you questions. So for you to know, you should see the external result and you must evaluate it. As a school, how many students can progress? That shows that achievement and standard is good or poor or fair. How many students leave your school to go and achieve still continue with that subject. When I was in school, I ate French like any other subject. I you know, by the time my French teacher is leaving, I will see that, God, I don't even understand anything.
Wow.
So, anytime they are talking about French, but the day I met a friend who was speaking French, I was she will go to live in Nigeria, I'm going to say, and she was talking to a French person, I'm saying, I have missed it too. If I know, maybe I would have been an ambassador somewhere now. I mean, but I refused to learn that time. So you must see how progressive are the students in a particular subject. If they are not making progress in your subject, you must be concerned. Don't even think about that. It's their problem. It is our problem. It is our problem because I cannot boast of having the best students in Nigeria if they are not in. So you need to check that. And you need to keep it as a school for your achievements and standards. Because I read through your old school evaluation report sometimes that you are nearly getting to the best, but for keeping your records. Mr. Mark, are you listening to me? But for your keeping your records, it's not God everything for you. You also need to look at the learner's books. Most teachers don't check their learner's books. How can a student write and don't understand what they are writing and you are saying the student will pass? It cannot pass. As a teacher, it's either you make it maybe free mark for them. Check their notes to understand where they are coming from, what have they achieved. Some will be in class and they will be looking at you like robots. And when they are going, nothing. But by the time that child's note is checked to see that what have you done, what have you written for today, that child knows that my teacher is interested in me. So when we talk about achievements and standards, we are talking about total thing that the children have achieved in your school over the period of years they have spent. Where are they supposed to be? If you want to sleep, you are free. But please, I will encourage you to stand up and walk around if you feel like sleeping. Thank you very much. Now we also need to see some teachers when they are writing the scheme of work, they don't give their students. And when they give it to them, they don't expect them to read ahead of them. I'm not saying they should form the notes ahead of you, but they should read ahead of you. That's the purpose of giving them the scheme of work. And when they read the scheme of work, they should be, when they enter the class, and say, these are what things I have learned in this scheme of work. If a child cannot tell you anything that they are saying from your scheme of work, it means you have not done anything as compelling them to do the work. All the students have scheme of work at the first page of their notes. All the notes, the first must be the scheme of work for each term. The same thing with the teachers in your diaries and your notes of lesson. The first page should have your schemes of work. And that will guide you to see if I am following well. We also want to see the proficiency of our students in class, in discussion, in talking to their mates, in every aspect of their life. How proficient are they in the language of instruction and the language of environment? It is very, very important. You need to have a robust academics in the school. This one concerns the authority more, but you need to also carry your teachers along. You must be focused on this aspect, like we have talked about, that a child must be good in at least more than one. Not only in academics, but the child must also be good in some other skills. So you must allow them to be trained on all other skills and they must participate. There are some who call them the Aladura, I mean, as a Aladura. When you ask them to pray for you in the assembly. By the time you beg, you want to stop, the Holy Spirit has come. In the name of Jesus, our teachers must have said, our parents must have money, our 20-hour minutes they are still praying. You know that they are going to become pastors, and you guide them into becoming the best of whatever they want to be. But if you now say no, because you cannot do this in class, you cannot do this outside the class, you are killing that child gradually. So, as evaluator, as a teacher, you are expected to be guided, to guide these children and be guided with this game. So, for you to become the best in learner skills and participation, you must have opportunity to give them. Don't tell your students, only them alone, Jerry. Give your children, give them extra responsibilities in the class, especially the senior ones. Do you know some of them wants to do something? You are teaching, and you are want them to pay something on the board. I said, okay. Be from this table and be where we have eggs as final teacher. Do you know that child will be so eager to pick and paste? But you say, head is always like this, paste it. They'll just be looking at you as if you are robots. Let them participate in whatever is happening within the school. That's why you need to have strong student representative council. See, your prefects must be respected by every teacher, by every management. Their opinion is very important. What you are now seeing, they are seeing in the class. So if you respect their opinion, you will be surprised that you get things done easily. See, some teachers they will say they are witches and wizards, I mean, because they will come to class and say, "We are following." And by the time I start talking, it's not that dead. I have a go among you that you cannot know. So because you allow them to participate in upbringing of their colleagues, the student comes into the morning and says, please ma'am, you are not the only teacher that always listens to us. I am not a guidance counselor. By the grace of God, I'm just a teacher. And the student said, we don't know who we can talk to about this child. This is our friend. Say what? The uncle normally have sex with her. How long? Said, for a long time, but we don't know who we can talk to. I said, don't worry. I've heard you. I'll take a step. But we don't want the principal to, don't worry. The principal will solve it. So the glory of God, it was resolved. In fact, if it had been this period, that I have the SVA to go and report to, that man would be himself by now. But it was very fortunate. Because the girl was threatened. But because I allowed them to come close to me, anything I want to do, we plan it together. Some teachers want to have them to do practical. And then you go and ask them, let's plan what practical are we doing for this term. It's very, very important. It is only then you will understand them and you will be able to participate in whatever you are teaching them, and then they will have skills beyond what you are giving to them. If tomorrow your child wants to do birthday party, wedding anniversary, and one of your students comes up and say, "Excuse me, sir, I'm a musician. Can I come and sing?" How will you feel? You will laugh or you will be happy. Which of the two? Because somebody laughed. You will laugh. Why? Because you expect a child to be a musician. That is why. No, that is why you are making the mistake. If that child leaves your school and says, come back and say, I'm a musician, why not ask the child to bring the tape? Probably, remember when they were in school, anytime they are playing piano, is always there to study it. You will run away from the class. Go to the music room. To be playing keyboard, to be playing flute. This child has taken a direction of the kind of life he wants. Today, where Davido enter, I cannot enter. These days I took them to my area. Hey, that is, I have to lock my car and run away. Because the kind of people that, they want to go, to pass ahead of that. That is for now. I'm not carrying myself to go judge. But then, you need, these are the skills, you understand, that you need to follow through with these children. If Zazu asks somebody to train him and guide him, they can't beat so many. I'm not talking about beating physically. Reason being that any event like this, he has a good music to back it up. And apart from talking, you can't compare his song with your best song. Am I right? So what we are saying, guide these children to establish a skill. Allow them to participate so that we can know their strengths and can know their weaknesses. I know of a student that when your computer is doing you just correct yourself now. And by the time it's reading back, you know what she see? Mommy, and he didn't go for any training at all. He trained on himself on the computer. So allow them to be and learn the skills. It's very important. Guide them into it. Allow them to go for challenges. Most private schools don't allow their children to go for external challenges. And if you are not having any record of your visitation or somebody has followed them up, then how do you know their future? How do you know what they are likely to become in the future? How then can you follow them through with what they are doing in the future? Do you know that a bad child is not doesn't belong to the child alone? If you get out and you get to the translator, you write you write on the joy here. So the child alone, I finished semester and see where I was for you. He has messed up everybody. Am I right? Because the impression is that you always cheat in examination. So when you cannot them to pass, even the discipline of their mates, you can come to students, okay, this person has done this and done this, let's have a meeting. It is the prefects themselves or the class student representative that will give you a judgment. And by the time, look, those players are powerful. If you allow them to, if you give them that small power, your school's work is limited. As a class teacher, I know what I do. I always identify the doubts among them. And then I identify the good ones among them. Or I die in doubts without shouting. Hello? How are you there? Where is it? You know that school icons? You won't tell them my doubt, Abby. Where is it? Excuse me, man. Let's see. I hope you do together. Get to the staff room, get a note from one of the students in the class, give him exercise book from your pocket, then start writing the notes. So we finish. Thank you. That child will hate you at first. Oh, I'm supposed to go and play ball now. After school, you are at the job. Nkechi, they are still going back together. Then we are closing 2:30, so I want you to finish it. I can bet you on my life that anytime you are coming, Nkechi will be checking his nose. Which one is not complete? Am I right? Have you solved the problem or not? But if you did not see the child's nose and you feel, why does it watch you? Waste your money, you will repeat. So you need to carry these children along to solve the school problem. It's very easy. Make sure you have your student representative at school, they meet regularly, and they come back with whatever reports they have. We have bullying in schools, don't deceive yourself. Bullying is everywhere. But you know, if you have your spies among these children, they will come back to tell you, man, hacking is a bully. If you see to be hacking, normally behaves. Somebody told me that there's no bullying in private schools. It's a lie. There are even more bullies in private schools than in public schools. So, and make sure they keep their records of the roles they are playing. Every child is important. As a teacher, every child is important. In fact, if you know of a child that is not doing well in certain areas, I know that child will do well, and give that child in that area. Once you give the child in that area, that child becomes a better child within a short time. And each child is looking at this French teacher is coming again, and his meaning is going to call. Maybe he said, listen, my time is coming. Who wants to see this? I'll put up my hand. Go. Then people think, she's brilliant. We need to work on these children, but you have to have it. There's also need for you to build up the children's self-esteem. That's why I said, there is no child, there is no student that passes through me that they can never be rude, but they can never be bullied. Because, even when I was very young, following the statue that time, you cannot tell me to shut up because I know what I am, the stuff I made of. You see, build it in that child that you are a special and unique child. Nobody can tell you or mess you up. The moment you are has won the game and you have won the race. Always ensure that the children are building up on their self-confidence, self-assurance that yes, I can do it. It does not matter. I can do it. I used to have a child that primary 1, primary 2, primary 3, primary 4, primary 5. This child can hardly spell correctly. So we had a discussion. You are going to repeat primary 3. She cried. She cried like a baby. And everybody fought me. We said, we are going to repeat together. Because as she has failed, I have failed too, Abby. So let's start together. And to the glory of God, by the time she will finish her first time of that gathering that she went back to, she had picked up. Now, whose fault? I had to find out who is this teacher. The mistake the school was making, the teacher proposed their children to the next class. No new teacher. And this child doesn't like the teacher at all. The teacher happens to be a bully. Nobody wants a bully. And when the school authorities are around, you see the teacher. Yes, sir. My guy is sir. And when they talk about, they become something else to the child. So we need to check to build. Are we building these children up? Are they participating in what we are doing? Now we go to the provision. Like we have said before, we need to check what our plan. In your lesson plan, please, and your lesson notes, don't forget to put activities of the children. It's not only you that you have activities. The children must have activities, and they must carry out their activities in that class when you are teaching them. So what are the activities of the children during the teaching and learning? I've talked about teachers making sure they have relevant instructional materials. Relevant. You don't have to go and borrow. And thank God for internet now. Just Google. It will give you what will support what you think you want. Material. Please ensure you do this. Ensure that the school authority must ensure that once in a term, depending on your arrangement, you must see all your teachers in class to observe them. All your teachers must be visited at the What do you call yourself? What do you call you now? The management staff. You can say, okay, Mr. A, I'm going to oversee SS or these subjects. You can tell me by subject, you can do it by class. You can do it departmentally. Principals must interview to see if they are giving you a report that this teacher is not good or these students are not doing well in this subject. You must visit that teacher's class to see the delivery of the teaching. And you don't go there announced in such cases. Some will tell them I will be coming or we are doing evaluation around the school today or for this week. Please, when they come, don't pretend. If you know it, you won't make the mistake. So they are coming in to guide you. When I go to the bathroom. If you do it, you will not be at that situation. So, and please don't go with the mind of optimizing them. I know that because it's not a good thing. I know that having these and this the presentation of your lesson is not good enough. Because when evaluators will come to your school, the major thing they are looking at is your teaching and learning. So before they come, you do your evaluation. By first checking all that, make sure that all your teachers prepare their notes of lesson before resumption. By Friday, your notes of lesson for Monday must be ready. And all aspects of the steps of the teaching must be spelled out. If you do this, by the time they are coming in on Monday, they are not just sitting down the staff to write notes of lesson. Your free period is meant for you to review what you have done wrong or what you have done right. No, sometimes you think you are good, but you can go back to that and hey, this is what happened to you. And you start making your correction. We are not to make mistakes. Please. There is nobody that is perfect. But hold on to your mistake. That is where the problem always lies. Don't try to cover up your mistake. Say that the maximum, which I don't think is the normal thing, is sack. Abi, but you are going with integrity. However, there is no school that wants to sack you when you do not do your mistake. If it's not a frequent mistake that you make all the time. So the management should also observe this teacher is good. Writing notes of lesson or presentation is not so good. You must always give your students assignments. And if you want them to respect you, mark the assignments. Most of us will give assignments. By the time we make it, drop them. At the end of the day, you will not mark the assignments. Then give them another one. You will return that assignment note to them. I wish you a break if I'm an administrator of your school. But if you mark it, you will know their weakness, you know their strength, you know how to help them. So ensure as a teacher, you mark, and the school authority must ensure that at intervals, they submit samples of assignments, notes of the students. You don't have to wait for. You can go to the class yourself and say, I want your note of your assignments exactly. Give me 5 or give me 3. All these are checks and balances. So that the student will know that you care. The teacher will know that I have to be on the top of my game. If you are not doing this, your learner's achievements cannot be mentioned. And once your learner's achievement is poor, my dear, you are going to become poor. And nobody wants their children in poor school. If your achievement are standard, if you work with your children with their learning skills and everything, by the time they are out of a lot of it depends on the teachers. Teaching is not a job for lazy people. People that are coming to teaching, their first thought is, I want to use it as a stepping stone. Teaching profession is not meant for failures. If failures are teaching profession, it means the society has failed. Teaching is meant for those who are brilliant and want to impart knowledge. If you are coming with the mindset that it's because I'm unemployed, that's why I'm a teacher, you have failed. And you remain a failure. But if you come with the mindset that I want to be the best in my profession where I found myself, that's teaching profession, then you go and borrow books and read books that can make you a better person as a teacher. Some teachers, they look at themselves and with pity. The clothes, the teachers cloth and with tie. Who says teachers cannot wear a bag and put a on it? Yes. Who says you cannot make beautiful Ankara gowns and come to buy a good cloth? To buy a good cloth is not expensive. What is expensive is for you not to have a good plan for yourself. And the moment you have a good plan for yourself, it will reflect on the teaching. It will reflect on your learners. You don't have to follow the crowd. They are buying that cloth 50,000 naira. What's it concern me? Don't worry. I will tell my tailor, Ankara 2,500, 3,000. Help me to make it. And stone is very cheap now. Help me to have stone. When I be like this, I will bring immediately. And you'll be looking at that. Some people that wear 50,000 clothes, they will be looking at their staff. That's why you get fine. Teachers are not corporate. You are just not being innovative. And that is why you are letting them look at. Nobody can look down on me as a teacher. Nobody. I was the person. Come with your limousine. I will check with you. But if you are not properly built as a teacher, then even your students will not have that self-confidence to interact with your students. And if you are not having that self-confidence, your morale is gone. And the moment your morale is gone, what you are impacting on the learners will be close to zero. Are we together? And the moment your achievement or your impact on the learners is zero, then your purpose of being a teacher is zero. Is what? Defeated. Is defeated. And the moment it's defeated, then why you do this profession? So the focus should be more on the learners. What have we really seen? And how are we going to impact on this learner? So that not only will they become better, okay, my students are not doing well. Is it the fault of the curriculum or the fault of the delivery of the curriculum? What are the things you are putting up to teach them? You know, there are sometimes that you put too many things together, and at the end of the day, they get lost along the way. But if your curriculum is something that is well simplified, that people, in quotes, who you will call a non-entity can understand it, then you have solved the problem. 3/4 of the problem is solved. And that's why we always encourage schools to have this national curriculum, this green and white book. This is something. Okay. Now, if you have it, please take it for your subject, read through the content, let it guide you. The moment you know that, okay, when we are talking about the head, we have skull, we have eyes, we have mouth. It's part of the head, your solution has come. But when you talk about it, you believe this is the only place that is there, you are failed. Because when you are teaching your students, you are going to tell them, this is head, Abby, and also didn't say my eyes. I didn't say my nose. I said my head. And my head comprised of my eyes and my nose. That's what the national curriculum does. It will guide you to say, these are the steps you need to take. So any teacher that is not making use of the national curriculum as a guide, that teacher is just wasting time. How do we pass judgment to a learner? Is it by spanking or serving punishment? We'll get to that. In the first place, you are not permitted to give them punishment, corporal punishment. And you are not also allowed to punish them severely without the permission of the guidance counselor. You must have reported the issue, and together you take a decision on the kind of discipline. We don't call it punishment, we call it discipline. And like the example I gave you, all you need to do, if your student is not regular in class, this is a private school, so that child must be regular in your class. If you have your marks and attendance in your class today, and the child happens to be present in school, tomorrow again, that child absent in your class and present in school, all you need to do is, with the child, go to the guidance counselor to lodge a complaint that this child doesn't attend class, but is always here. But what is your evidence? Which book do you have as evidence? The subject attendance register. And from there, you will pick it up and guide through on how to solve that child's problem. Now, like I give the example, there are some children that they are just naturally lazy. You don't need to fight, I've told you. Take permission from the head of the school to inform the parents that your child has not been writing notes. It is from there, DSP will carry you. I don't tell you one. Don't say the G. It's a serious matter. Please, it's a serious matter. So let us desist from this issue of corporal punishment. There are 1,001 ways of punishing a child, and without that child being affected in the negative form. So please ensure that you have that as your standard. We'll talk about care guidance and safety tomorrow. I've said that will be our main focus tomorrow. Now, having said that about it, I'm looking for your learning environment. Learning environment must be conducive for all the children. And it doesn't depend on the principal or the school authority. You can make your class strong. A place that people want to come and see, my whole class is sad. If you see our class, every child wants to be in this class. Why? Because as she's hoping, she's thinking about these children. Most of us, we are thinking about my salary, my increase there. So you are not even seeing anything that can impact the child without money coming into it. But I can tell you that what you sow today in that child's life, at the time the child will get mature, that child will want to look for that teacher who impacted this in his or her life. So we need to walk through what we are doing as a teacher. What am I impacting in the environment of the child? Maybe the environment conducive for the children. Maybe it's a loving environment. Of course, there's nobody that will come be afraid of that teacher. We don't instill fear in the child. What do we instill in the child? No? You instill respect. You still respect. What you have done is earning you respect from that child. A child that you have hurt like that, if that child is coming back to school tomorrow and somebody is talking ill about you, you'll be the first to come and do an Mr. Ben Balosita today, you are going to deal with Mr. Ben. You'll be the first to come back being a for Mr. Ben. Am I right? He will defend you to the last. Why? Because you have shown love to that child. You are not there because of the money alone. You are there because of what that child can become in the future. So your learning environment must be very conducive. Bring up chats. You know, I've told you, you don't have to be very expensive. And you have been given opportunity these days to go to laptop, to go to computer, to print out. You can do that. Beautify your environment with meaningful posters, with meaningful words that can impact in their future. Your learning environment must be very conducive for your children to learn well. So what you really have in our learning environment, we must make it neat and tidy. From the entrance, that room must be attractive. Once it's attractive, the students want to come, especially in the junior classes. You should avoid gravity and vandalism. Some students will just take marker right on the wall and write that. That child must be corrected immediately once you know the child. But if you allow it to be, somebody else will come back to come and write something else. So you should avoid graffiti within your school compound. It is not allowed. Your laboratories, your library, your workshop entrance, everything must be beautiful for that child to not come and learn technical drawing. But if your entrance is jaga, I don't like that class, jaga. It's always jaga when I enter. We need to have the children must have access to every part of the class. And for right now, when your child is in the class, you know there are some children, for example, you need to have special interest of all your learners. My son will always come back and say, I don't see well on the ball, man, you don't know, perfect, no glasses, no glasses. And the teacher will say, he's tall, so he has to sit at the back. And he will tell me, what they are doing, I have to be bothering you to write. I can't see the board. Say, hey, is it because you are a teacher? You want to show yourself? In fact, there was a teacher that beat him because he said he was not going to sit at the back. Like a boss. So that day, one teacher just called my attention and said, are you sure this teacher doesn't have my problem? I said, don't answer me, Jerry, but don't mind him as a mother. Then, afterwards, I just took all of them, all my children, I took them to the eye specialist. And behold, I was told that, if I his glasses, you cannot use it. One eye is so bad. And they said it's not corrected, that it's from birth, that it needs to be managed. So we change his glasses every 6 months. If the teacher has not observed that child, if the learning environment has been not being conducive, we can blame the school and say it is the school learning environment that is bad. Whereas it is the child issue. So you must know about your learning environment. A place where children can come in without hurting themselves. A place where they can come in with love, that they are coming into a place, not a place where people will be afraid. When I was enter a class now, and you see they write so many killing. Just like that. By the time I read the third one, what should you go on? God help me, I'll be crazy. So we need to look for gravity around the school. Even in their notes. What are they drawing? Some of our students are already in court. They are very young. And they are already there. Why? Because we care less about what is in their notes. When they are drawing, they draw hard, they put dagger, and it's not your business, it is your business. Teachers, be involved to bring out the best for the students. you also must have fire extinguishers around. People will always tell you God forbid. Will fire tell you when you want to come? The bid cannot be forbidden by God if you don't know what you need to put up. Your environment must be safe for all the learners so that they can come out to be the best of it. Now, in all this, how effective leadership of the school? The leadership and the management must utilize all human and meeting and material resources available for them at that particular time in the school. Don't say, if this guy is not good, I'm not going to. If it's not good here, it can be good in the other way. Some of us, only our friends, only people that say, Mommy, do money now. If you can't give mommy, I will tell you I'm not mommy. Some of us, we hammer so much of that respect we want teachers to give us than what that teacher can get to give to us. Utilize all the teachers. Put all of them. All of them. Look at their strength. Put all of them. If you know somebody that's when it's coming, even interesting about him, put that person in the social committee. You know that all the music they want to dance in the school. She knows it off hand. And if this is someone that is going, why did you do that? Why did you do that? It's not the best. You could have done that. You can put that one in disciplinary committee. Because discipline is not about beating. It's about changing that child. So look at the strength of, look, by now you know all your teachers. Not eye service. Or what they can get from them. See, get it from them. They won't give it to you. Go and get it. Management, draw them. Make them useful. But you must be cordial. And you must see that beauty in them, in what they are doing. You must learn to applaud them. That does not mean when they do something wrong, you don't issue a query. Please do. Because if you are, okay, for example, if a teacher is sad and the teacher takes you to court, the first question will be asked is, what are the offenses? How do you generate the offenses? And that's why you are going to go to your rules and regulations that they have signed. They have signed and you have kept a copy in their file. You take it with you. Have you issued query? Because one of the rules will be issue them a query. Have you issued a query? Has the query been answered? Have you given observation? There are steps to take. So that at the end of the day, by the time you are leaving the course, your hands are like this. I've done an investigation one day and see everybody in the system condemned me because they felt I was not human enough. And I told them, I said, I have no regrets, either you like it or not. A student was beaten in the school on a Friday. The parents came to carry the child from the school on Friday. And the child was not feeling well. And they kept the child at home. Then on Monday it became an emergency. And they said it was the beating of the teacher on Friday. I gave the child on Monday. I said, you only murdered the child. You want to fight the teacher. You didn't take your child to hospital for evidence to tell you what actually is wrong with the child. Unfortunately, you know that the child was having crisis because the child happens to be SS. And by the time the child got to the hospital, you know when you are rich, you take them to private hospital. They just check, the blood is low, and they put injection, and they were giving blood, and the blood was okay. Before Robinson, the boy was referred to youth, and the boy child died in youth. And they kept coming fight. I said, if I have, I will lock all of you inside the cell. You killed that child. But you are blaming somebody else for the death of your child. So, but if you have your records, whatever happens, you can stand tall and say, these are the things I have done. So, as the authority of the school, please monitor your teachers. help them to achieving what you want them to achieve. But don't bully them. You there's a difference between bullying and guiding. Nobody likes to be corrected. Nobody. In fact, if you are doing wrong thing, the first thing you want is to say, what you are doing is wrong. No, if I tell you the first time what you are doing is wrong and you are still doing it, I will shout. They know me. I know how to shout very well. But after I'm shouting, yeah, go and make that phone. I will sit down. If you are doing this because I shout, I'll tell you now. We are going to one for today. We'll fight. Again, better get us settle this one. Correct yourself because another fighting is coming. So by the time you see me that I'm not be taunting you, I'm telling you what you're supposed to do. You will know. Then please, don't hesitate to use the authority in your hand. What authority do you have? Discretion, first observation, then discussion, the other way around, documentation. So what it is the role? Observe the teacher, discuss with the teacher, and document it. One of the documentations is by usually query to the teacher. But if these things are not done, if I want to go to my colleague, I will report to you. Mr. Mark doesn't like me. If I can tell 1,001 lies about Mr. Mark, why? Because there is no evidence to back up the case. But if you are documenting issues, even in the files of the teachers, it makes your judgment very easy at the end of the day. And if any evaluator will come for anything, once your records are properly kept, you are becoming an effective leader. And once as leaders your works are good, there is no teacher that can become bad in your system. So you must always do internal evaluation and allow people to judge you. Allow them to talk about what you are doing. What are the things they need to see in you as a leader? What are the things they need to learn from you as a leader? What are the things they need to confide in you as a leader? The moment these things are done, your school will start at the top. And like I said, your goal should not be what I can gain. Your goal should be what I can give. What am I giving to this society to make this society a better society? My love, my time, my attention is needed by all these leaders. Because you never can tell. As a teacher, you met them, you will meet them as doctors. As a teacher at airport, you will meet them maybe as pilots or attendants. Sometimes I want to go to somewhere, I'll just call. So person go, before you see the bag. Okay, mommy, time for the first seat. When my mates are lining up, yes, I'll get their queue, but all the papers they want to check, they are not for me. Why? Because I have sown a seed. You need to sow that seed in the life of the children, of these children, before you can reap anything in the future from them. If your aim, like I said before, your coming to teaching profession is because I don't have a job, please, it's better for you to resign. Yeah, I want to make my impact in the life of the children. Please stay. You will not be rich today. I tell people, since I retired, that you know these days, the way they pay us when it comes to the gratuity and pension, it doesn't come on time. 2 years you are waiting, 3 years you are waiting. But you know this one was it. I had a couple that worked with me. Very brilliant, but challenged. And so everybody was I said, our friend, come on, I said, come and work with me. And after working with me, this boy arranged my office in Kogi. When I say arrange in my office, in every aspect of my office. That when they are looking for anything, Kazi, we are looking for this file. She be the file until you worked on it. After working on it, you took it to DG. DG took it to the commissioner. They took it to the file. It's in the commissioner's office. So instead of me to looking for my items on my brain, it has become my record. I recorded it in my place, but they didn't record it in their own office. If I rejected it, all the others, they are beating me, they are beating me. Today, or one of them, this boy was retained, and he has gotten a job. There are people that are writing application for. Somebody took him by the hand, said, this boy, we need to employ him. So even when everybody was looking for a job, he got the job on the platter of goods. And today, I am reaping the fruit of my labor because nobody can salary. Mommy, when you need to job better, this is for your recharge card. Am I not enjoying myself? If I get the last week, super, when the doctor will come, mommy, I'm immediately. It's seducing for somebody who will attend to me. Is that not the reward for me? When people are lining up, I am walking into the and they say, she has so deceived you. So deceived as a teacher. You will have the reward. Not in heaven. Me, I am enjoying my reward here on earth. And you can enjoy yours too. When you have an impact in the life of those you work with. Those you meet on your way up, it is the truth. You make them when you are coming down. They are the one that will lift you when you are weak, when you are silent, when you cannot do it. But I'm not saying you should be complacent, please. Everyone that works with me, they know that when I say we are leaving the office 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm there before 6. And so 6 on the dot, driver, let's go. The identity for you are weak. Send me a text, I am delayed, I am somewhere. Abi, if I do not see your text, why should I wait for you? Please, you are not interested in the job. Let me go. And so please, I want to encourage all of us. It's not about bribing. Don't ruin the children's life. It's not about what their parents can give to you. If I make a call for visiting a surgery, when I say surgery, they are not better off than you. It's not about wealth. It's about what you have to give. Let them come with limousine. And let me come with my foot hygiene. I will tell them legacy. Train the children. I'm not saying you should be put a bully. I'm not saying you should rush rubbish them, but please don't satisfy them at the detriment of your job and these children. Otherwise, you have become a failed leader. May we not be failed leaders in Jesus' name. So your effectiveness as a school depends on what your children are floating for you. Your effectiveness as a school depends on what you are putting for the children. Don't go and get teachers that have been failures themselves. And because when you say, I'm only here because I don't have a job, I will not employ you. I will not even dare it. Look for somebody who has the passion that is coming to that teaching to impact on the life of the learners. Money will follow, or your passion must be the first. Above all, fairness in all you do must be there for you. Don't ever do it because of what you can gain, but do it because it is what is ideal. I can step on anybody's toes. The only person that cannot step on his toes is God. Or any other person, whoever you are, to God be the glory. The maximum if you are my husband, you don't give me food. Abi. They say, I'm going to be the one that will do. Abi, I'll be in the kitchen, Abi. It's the bit done. But if you know, out of 6, if I can test 2, should be our child. So don't worry, all will be well. But please, when we talk about all school evaluation involves every one of us. And it starts from the entrance of our school. Let everybody share vision and mission. Your vision is what you have here. Your vision is how to get there. Many dreams die because the vision and mission statement, the vision of that person is left to the person you know. And so the vision will not help you to achieve the vision. Share your vision. They will still let them feel it. This ground is big enough for everybody to have an impact. So share your vision and make sure you have a plan to achieve the vision. So that at the end of the day, these children you have come for the outcome in their lives to be established, you will be able to give them that achievement. From being on the ground child, I went to a public school. In my primary school, I went to a public school. In my secondary school, partly public, partly private. But thank God that what was built in us then makes us to stand and face the challenge of this world. So when people are complaining, I always laugh it off. The impact of you in that child is very, very important. The impact of you in this school is very, very important. But please, let the school make sure that they are not partial in what they do. And they have all their records. All their records, we are so surrounded from. So listen, that your impact in this society, this community, is very, very important. Some schools, none of the community leaders can come near them. No. You must give back to the community. Do something for the community. You can even say, okay, one day, we and our children want to go out to plant flower. You have told the house owners that we'll be coming around to come and plant flowers in front of your house. Then the importance of communal life. It's because we are not giving communal life business. That is why we are finding these problems we are finding ourselves. If you see a child that a child was opening their head, and somebody told me because they were afraid of the parents, and I said, what they told me that your child is smoking there. People let it go, but this office on the money very. She come back in there, but they only should push it, that will matter. So the other man now said, oh, you have this talk on this street too. Let's be. And I told him, I said, I also have the same question. Water for you. At what time? So around 7:30, I said, we will come back around 8:39. Go and check where is finding those things. We'll never find it there. Communal life is very important. Let the children invite in the school. Let them give to the next class. Whatever they can give. I'm not saying you should ask them to bring water. If you have notes, if you have books that you can share. But please, discipline must be your watch. On this note, I say thank you. For allowing us into your school to get to understand what the STEM is all about. Thank you also to the proprietor of the school. By the grace of God, the materials used will be given to the school with some explanation, and then can give us the good results, good report of the work. See you tomorrow by the grace of God.
This left.
Please stand and sit down. On behalf of the management staff, in fact, you are indeed not just a teacher,